Hi students, welcome to yet another session of my class. We are discussing paper Writings on Contemporary Issues and discussing our second chapter, that is Artificial Intelligence by Gareth Southwell. In the last class we discussed about the outperformance of computers over humans, and also we discussed about the difference between weak artificial intelligence and strong artificial intelligence, and what are the arguments raised uh, on the concept weak artificial intelligence and strong artificial intelligence. Let us continue our portions. That is, an important objection to strong artificial intelligence has been raised by American philosopher John Searle. Yes, in the last class we discussed about on the previous paragraph, that is, our author noticed one example, that is physicist Roger Penrose. He has argued that, as Kurt Gödel proposed, just as mathematicians may recognize truths about mathematical systems that are not provable within certain those systems, and there will always be certain truths that a computer program cannot comprehend but a human can. That was his argument. That is Roger Penrose. Just like that, here also, this American philosopher John Searle, he also raised an objection to strong artificial intelligence. And to prove that objection, he cited one example here, one experiment here. Just look at that. So an important objection to strong artificial intelligence has been raised by American philosopher John Searle, and he was born on 1932. And his experiment is like that he says, imagine, he says that you are sitting in a room. He is asking to the readers that just imagine you are sitting in a room, and on one side is a hatch, and on one side of that particular room there is an opening through which are passed, and tiles on which are written Chinese symbols. Yes, on you are imagine, just imagine you are sitting in a room, and on one side of the room there will be an opening through which are passed, and some tiles are there on and which are written with the Chinese symbols. As they arrive, you look up each symbol in a book which provides instructions on how to respond. And when you reach there, or as they arrive, you look up each symbol in a book which provides, and you will get a definite instruction regarding how to respond to each that Chinese symbols. And it will help you to select from another stack of tiles also containing Chinese characters, which you then send out through a hatch on the other side of the room. And from, yes, you will get a definite instruction from another stack of tiles, and it also contains Chinese characters, and which will give you a proper instruction regarding the exit from that particular place. That means you then send out through a hatch, that is, you can exit through another opening on the other side of the room. You do not know any Chinese language. You are merely looking up and choosing symbols according to the book's instructions. Am I right? Yes. You do not know any Chinese language or something like that, but you are here responding on the basis of that book's instructions. You are merely looking up those symbols, Chinese symbols, merely looking up and choosing symbols according to the book's instructions. Here, for the purpose of the thought experiment, it could therefore be any language. Instead of this Chinese, we can replace it with this Persian or Urdu or any language you are not familiar with. We can replace for the purpose of the thought experiment. It could therefore be any language that you are not familiar with. So in this particular situation, in this scenario, Searle asks, could it be said that you understand Chinese? Yes, he is asking one question, that is, could it be said that you understand Chinese? No. It is purely based on certain instructions that is, yes, embedded in the notebooks or in the book. That is, that action is purely based on the instructions that is that instructions that is given in that particular book. So in this scenario, Searle asked one question: could it be said that you understand Chinese? And the answer is no. Most would say no. Here, Searle's point is that there is more to understanding and consciousness than successful rule following. Actually, what uh, we did here is to follow the rule that is embedded in the notebook or in the book, or in the, we are following that instruction only. We don't know any Chinese language, or don't know the meaning of those characters or something like that. So Searle's point is that there is more to understanding and consciousness than successful rule following. Just as in the above example, you would not say that you speak or understand Chinese. Yes, we can't say that we know Chinese, or we can understand, or we can speak Chinese language or something like that. So we could never say that a computer is conscious or understands anything in the fullest sense. That is his argument. That is his argument is proved with the help of this particular experiment. That is, so we could never say that a computer is conscious or understands anything in the fullest sense. That means the mechanical system or the working condition of these machines or computers is purely based on the programs set by these humans. What they did is purely based on the artificial intelligence of these humans, nothing more than that. That is our author's argument here. So we could never say that a computer is conscious or understands anything in the fullest sense, that is fullest human sense. That means we all know that we all, in our life, we all are passing through some situations, or in some particular situations uh, we are forced to take some important decisions in our life. So such cases, that is here with the help of this example, he is explaining, that is, we could never say that a computer or any other machine is conscious or understands anything in the fullest human sense when we compare with this example. This is just the working is purely based on what we, yes, program or what we set on that particular machine. Its working is purely based, nothing more than that, or uh, nothing more than uh, that is, we could never say that a computer is conscious or understands. Then the consciousness of machines. Yes, our author is concluding his article uh, by saying that this is perhaps the deeper and more philosophical issue. Yes, he starts his article by asking two questions. That is, one is, what were the questions? Machines, whether machines can be conscious, and whether computers can think. Here in the last section of this essay, the consciousness of machines, yes, our author is insisting that it is a deeper and a more philosophical issue. If machines can become conscious, then this would mean that there was nothing more to consciousness than the mechanical interrelation of physical parts in a sophisticated, very sophisticated way, admittedly, but a mechanical physical system nonetheless. Yes, he is arguing or saying that if machines can become conscious like a human being, then this would mean that there was nothing more to consciousness than the mechanical interrelation of physical parts of the parts in a very sophisticated way. There is nothing more than the interrelation or mechanical interrelation of physical parts in a sophisticated way. So strong artificial intelligence therefore appeals to certain materialists. So he is arguing that the strong artificial intelligence, it appeals to certain some materialists. Materialist means people who believe that having money and possessions is the most important thing in life, more than spiritual values. That means they give much importance to money and all, did not give much value to other important values like spiritual values or something like that. They did not give, or they did not believe in other values. So people who believe that having money and possessions is a important thing in life, such type of people are called materialists. So strong artificial intelligence therefore appeals to whom? Certain materialists, who see denial of this possibility as a challenge to scientific consensus. And these materialists, they consider this denial of this possibility of that strong artificial intelligence as a challenge to scientific consensus. If we think machines cannot be conscious, then aren't we assuming that there is something more involved in consciousness than we can understand or account for physically? Yes, the author is asking us one question. If we think or if we consider machines cannot be conscious, then aren't we assuming that there is something more involved in consciousness than we can understand or account for physically? That is the question here is. That is, aren't we assuming or considering that there is something more involved in the term consciousness than we can understand or, yes, account or understand, we can understand or account physically? That means it is, aren't we consider that there is something more involved in consciousness than we can understand through our experience, that is through our physical experience? Then again he is asking question, that is, aren't we assuming that it's ultimately mysterious or perhaps even spiritual? Yes, again he is asking, that is, aren't we consider that this is, aren't we assuming that it is ultimately mysterious, this consciousness, the term consciousness? Aren't we assuming or are we considering that it is ultimately mysterious or perhaps even spiritual? Those who deny strong artificial intelligence are not necessarily proposing anything of the sort, of course, but it is a fair question. Those who deny or those who reject this strong artificial intelligence are not necessarily proposing anything of the, yes, above said questions. That is, necessarily proposing any answer, anything of the sort, of course, but it is an existing question. It is a fair question. However, it would help greatly in answering the question, can machines be conscious? And it will help us to find out the answer to the question, can machines be conscious? If we actually knew what human consciousness involves, which most agree we currently don't. If we actually knew what human consciousness involves, which most people agree, but we currently don't know what human consciousness involves. This is about artificial intelligence by Gareth Southwell. That is his argument. He starts his essay by posing, or yes, Southwell poses two simple, thought-provoking philosophical questions, and which are very relevant in today's world. And he concludes his essay by asking the same questions, that is, aren't we assuming that there is something more involved in consciousness, the term consciousness, or how can we define this term consciousness? And he asks whether computers can think and whether machines can be conscious. I think all of you understand this session. And students, there is a homework for you. Please note down the questions. Who is the American philosopher mentioned in the extract? What is the difference between weak artificial intelligence and strong artificial intelligence? Third one, describe Searle's objection to strong artificial intelligence. And last one is, what is the physicist Roger Penrose argument based on? Dear students, please write down the answers to these questions. Put an image, take an image of it and send back to me through WhatsApp. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.